here from Snazzy Creations. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I am going to show you making Christmas cards. So I started making Christmas cards a couple of days ago, since Christmas is nearly upon us once again. Just having coffee. Now I love to recycle paper because there's so much paper wastage in this world, and we really need to recycle as much as we can. So I just made this one up today to show you. And this is a card that I've made, and it's super cute. Little Christmas baubles, I think they're called. And that's the inside and the back. And I make the card, and I make an envelope as well. And these are made from book pages and magazine pages. So what I use is this is just a magazine page. I paint it on. You can do any sort of painting that you want to do. You can do just get your paint and spread it on, and then you can use simple tools to stamp with, do printing. I keep all sorts of unusual shaped things. They're all fantastic things to stamp with. If you go to the kids section, and they have these foamy block things, you can actually heat them up, and then you can imprint something onto them. You can do all sorts of stuff. I make a lot of my own stamps. I'll show you some of them. Just a couple. I make my stamps. This is from packaging. It's styrofoam, and then I've just glued. It's that fun foam, and I just cut it out and then glued it on there. I just put double-sided tape on here and then stick it on. That works really good. I make a lot of my own stencils as well, just from cardboard. What else have I got in here? This is just I haven't got much else. I also keep bits of packaging like that. That's great for stamping. Put in your paint and blob it all over your page. Great mark making tools. So I haven't got it right. I've got a big crate full of stamps that I've made. Like I said, I make all sorts of good things. Corks make great stamps as well. This cork here, I've glued a bottle top to it, and that makes a great stamp for mark making. Yeah, so just keep everything and anything that you have. Make great for stamping. Once you do your printing on there, then you can get your different colour, black or some white, and then make lots of marks. Like I've done on here, you can see on this piece, just a magazine page. And also use, if you've got metallic paints, they look really beautiful. I don't know if you can see the metallic on here. Maybe there you can see it. But yeah, just really fantastic. So anyway, this is an envelope I'm just starting to make. I make it from the magazine page that I've painted on and stamped. As you can see, I went and bought some Christmas stamps from Spotlight, and they weren't very expensive. I think it was $5 for a little thing like that, full of stamps, different stamps. I bought it. They had a special going, buy two and get the third free, so I bought 3 for about $10. With the magazine pages, because they're quite thin, for a envelope, I use 2 pieces and I glue it together, and I put a little, because you can actually just mail it in the mail, I glue a place where I can write on if you want to actually mail it. The other thing I do, which you don't have to do, but you need to make sure you glue it really well together if you're just going to glue, because I machine stitch all mine. As you can see, I've stitched around there, and I also stitch around the edge to hold it all together. Yeah, but it turned out really beautiful, and I put double-sided tape, just like a normal envelope, peel it off, glue it down, and I make gorgeous envelopes. So this is the one, and same as the cards, this is made from recycling book pages. So depending on the thickness of the paper depends on how many pages you need to use. Now this paper that I'm using from an old encyclopedia set that I've got, the paper is very thick. It's really good paper. And I just love, I'm going to be so sad when I run out of these books. I've still got 3 or 4 left, so I'm happy about that. But anyway, so for my card I use 3 pieces of this paper. So I have the front, that's going to be the front, that's going to be the back, you know, the inside I mean, and then I have a piece inside as well. So 3 pieces to make my card, and these, I mean, you can make the cards any sizes that you want. I'll just make them to the size of this paper, which is, it's about 25.5 centimeters long, not quite, and it's about 18, bit over 18 centimeters wide, and it makes a really nice size shape card. But like I said, you can make any size, any size that you want. The only thing I recommend, if your paper is thin, is to add more papers inside, just to make it more sturdy. Alright, so what I do is I start off, now let me just move some of this away because I've got stuff everywhere, make some room. So you want to have some painted paper, like I said before, if you want to make your own painted papers, it's very simple. Just get your paints, do a layer. I've done a couple of layers here. I've done red, and then I did gold and a bit of white. No, I did white and then some gold, and while the paint was wet I got in with some of my stamps and made some marks on there. So do whatever you like. Now as in this one here, you can see I've got my painted paper, and then I've stamped with some of my Christmas stamps. Now you don't have to, if you don't have any Christmas stamps, you can by all means do your own writing on there. I don't see why you couldn't do that. Do your own writing on there, or you can make yourself a stamp, or just use circle stamps are great. You know, use your old toilet rolls or garbage bag rolls, whatever you got, and just to sort of send it all back into the background a little bit, I would recommend stamping with something. Oh, someone's motorbike is backfiring us. So I think I'm probably just going to do the same as what I've done here for this one. So what I did is I stamped, let me just have a look at some of my, like I said, these stamps were quite inexpensive, though the ink is quite expensive, but you could stamp with, if you had acrylic paint, water it down thinly, put it on something. I use an old bit of plastic. I think it's from like a display book cover, and I'll just use a bit of plastic, put your paint on there, pin it out a bit, and then you can probably stamp it, but you'd want to wipe it down after each stamp because you don't want to get too much paint. Or you could just do some random stamping on there, like I said before. So I think I might stamp with my warmest wishes, just one here. I'll just grab my little stamp block. And I'm using Stays On. You can use any sort of ink that you have. And I think I'm going to stamp diagonally this time. So I'm going to start one off up the top, and then I'm just going to go kind of across. Doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I embrace the imperfections. It just makes it more unique when it's not perfect. So this is just to give you an idea of something to do. And the other thing you could do also is you could grab all your old cards from last year, if you keep them, like me. If you keep the ones people send to you, you could actually just get that card and you could just paint over the top of that. Which is probably not a bad idea, I just thought of that. Then your cards are all ready to go. Alright, nearly there. A few more. Yeah, so just with the stamping, just use your imagination and see what you can come up with. Okay, so now I've got that stamped. Now I'm going to do the baubles again. I think it's baubles, those Christmas balls. I'll just call them Christmas balls because I'm having trouble pronouncing that word. Just a bit of coffee again. So I already picked out some painted paper. I've got a couple of bits of painted paper, and I've got this is from a magazine. So if you haven't got any painted papers, by all means have a look through any magazines that you have, and have a look for anything interesting. Oh, this is like some trees. It looks like trees and bushes. So that would look really, really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one from each colour. So I'll cut them out and then I'll be back. You don't have to watch me do that. Alright, I've cut them out, my circles. Now if you don't have, I've got a circle stencil. But if you don't have a circle stencil, you can use anything. Just find something, you know, that's got about the right size and just trace around it. Easy peasy. Now, after cutting them out, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure I like that anymore. I think it's too busy. So I've cut another one out. I wanted like a green coloured one. And when choosing your colours, just like the background is like red and gold, so if you want your things to stand out, just make sure you're using like different colours. Green, of course, is wonderful with red because it's a contrasting colour, complementary colour, I mean. So anyway, I've decided to use these ones, and I'm just playing around with the how I'm going to put them. Why did they have that in the middle? No, I think I like it like that actually. I think I'm going to put them like that. So what I do now, if you're going to sew them, you just keep them in place. I just use a bit of glue stick. And my glue stick's still empty, but you still got some glue inside where you can't, so I'll just get it out with a little scraper. And I'm just going to put a bit of glue just to hold it down. Now if you're just gluing, you want to put lots of glue on. And this one. About there. And this one about here. There. And of course use your old credit card or gift card or whatever card you have, and just give them a good, just to stick it down. And there goes my glue rolling around. Now, so you've got the other two pieces. So this is the middle one that's got nothing on it. So put a bit of glue down and glue that to the back. That's going to add strength for sewing. The other thing, if you don't have a sewing machine and you want to do sewing, you could always do hand sewing. And I'll just put a bit of glue in here. Now if you're not sewing and you're just going to glue, just make sure you use lots of glue. Just stick them together, and especially around the edges. That's where they like to come apart. Alright, I think this one's finished. Just going to grab another glue stick. The other thing you could use is double-sided tape. Run double-sided tape all around. You want the nice thin stuff all around the edge, and then run a few pieces along inside. Oh wow, that lid's on tight. There we go. And here's another little circle thing. I'll stick that. I'm not sure if I got that one yet. I might not have gone through many glue sticks, but I might not have saved one. Okay, so I'm just going to put a bit more glue in here, just because I like, even though I'm sewing, I still like it to be stuck together. And I'm just going to line it up. And I'm going to get my card, give it a good scrape. I've got a good, oh, what's going on there? Got a little something. I don't want that. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go and sew these on, and I'll be back when I've done that. Alright, I've stitched those on. I just like doing really sketchy stitching around them. Now I'm going to use some, I'm just going to ink around the edge. And I think I'm going to use, I'm just going to use my black VersaFine Onyx Black. I just like to get the edges, I don't like that white. Seems to frame the card a bit. Okay. Now I also want to do around the Christmas balls. Actually first, got to make the little, I'm going to use my Posca pen in gold, and you can just use a brush and some acrylic paint if you want. I'm just going to make a little, you know, the little thing that sticks up, and then the string. And one here. Alright, and I've got a black Posca pen. I'm just going to go around that little, otherwise you can't really see it, and I'm just going to do a light line around there. I think this one's just about run out. Looks like it has run out. I'll try again. Ouch, that hurt. Okay, I think I've got, no, I think it's dead. I think I've got a new one in my tray. Yes. Really like the Posca pens. They are a little bit pricey, I suppose, for how much paint you get, but they're really handy. Trying to get the plastic off. There you go. Okay. Just going to give that a... Might just put that upside down in my little holder there. See if we end up getting any more paint. Take a little while to get these going to begin with. Here it comes. I'll just go around this one again. Oops, I'm going to have to go over that. So get my gold and go over that because I went in there. Now I'm going to use my, so you can use anything to go around the outside. What I'm going to use, you can use a texter or a black marker. I was thinking of using, yeah, I might use my Faber-Castell pit pen. I'm just going to get a little brush because I want to move it around a bit. I don't want it just being a black line. That's like that. Just to give it a bit of a shadow. So you can use anything that you have to make a bit of a bit of an outline. Just gives it a much, defines it. If you have pencils that are water activated, that would work too. Or even just a little bit of watered down acrylic paint as well. And just carefully go around there and sort of smudge it around a bit. The other thing you could use to make the baubles, if you got old Christmas paper, you could cut them out and glue them on there. That would look really cool too. Alright, I think that's pretty good now. So now, and the reason I leave the pages because I don't want all that stitching on here. So now I can glue this on here. to go around my glue stick. Get it nice and smooth. I'll just bend the card, make sure. And here I'm just don't know why it's done that. Never mind. Right. So I think I might just bend it this way for a moment. And for inside, because I want to do some enhancing, but I'm going to use a brown. I'm going to use, this is the Memento Rich Coca. I want to do the in the middle. And I'm just going to go around the edge. I think my my little dabber thing's just about kaput. Just about all worn down to nothing. Okay. Bits coming off. Alright, and I like to do a little bit of art inside, but I think first I'm going to go back to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch all the way around. Like I said, you don't have to, you can just, if you're just gluing it, just make sure you really glue it down well. See, mine's not glued down well, that's the stitching will hold it all together. If you don't have a sewing machine and you want to do stitching, you could just do easy hand stitching around there, just go, you know, in and out and just do a nice, I can't remember what that stitch is called, just a nice easy, I think it's a blanket stitch. Oh, you could do blanket stitch, but yeah, just go all the way around. That would look really awesome, but that's too time consuming for me, so I'm just going to use the sewing machine go around a couple of times, and I like to go down the middle as well. Alright, I'll be back when I've done that. Alright, I've stitched around the edge and down the middle a couple of times. Just gives it a nice finished look. Now the inside, I'm going to decorate. I think I'm going to use this one. Merry Christmas to you. Now, if you don't have any stamps, what you could do is you could, if you've got a computer and a printer, you could type it up and print it out and then cut it out nicely, just nice, and then oh, hang on, let me get a little bit of paper. It seems to be harder to find than usually. I've got paper everywhere. Hang on. Oh, things are flying everywhere. Okay, here's a piece. Alright, just so if you printed it out nicely, you can glue it in there, and then to make it pretty, you could just do some, if you've got some coloured, you could use coloured pens and just do some nice, you know, like a nice border around it, and that would look really pretty. Or you could just write it in. If you've got nice handwriting, not like me, I've got terrible handwriting. I'm trying to learn to like it a bit better. But yeah, if you like your handwriting and you're happy to write, by all means do that. Now, I'm just going to find my little acrylic block. And I'm just going to use the Stays On. Oh. Pop that back on there again. And I'm just going to eyeball about the middle. Like that. And I like to put a little like that, just there. And on the other side, I'm just going to put little Christmas trees in the corner. And I love these ones. Where are they? These little bauble Christmas. Yeah, there's so many possibilities you could do. Like I said, you could even make the Christmas card with last year's Christmas paper, if you still have some left over. You can glue that to the front, and that would make really beautiful Christmas cards as well. And what you could do too is, I have done it in some of the other cards, is add a little bit of colour inside there. That looks really cute too. I might just I want to get a little bit of orange ink. This is a shimmery one. This is the acrylic ink. This one is called Autumn Gold. Gorgeous colour. And I'm just going to put a little dab in each one. Get my brush. Just get the excess water off. And that looks really cute too. And I might put a little something there. I've got, let me have a look. I might put the ho 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 there. Find my little block. Oops, nearly did it upside down. Would have been O instead of ho ho ho. That would have been funny, wouldn't it? Okay. Oh, I love that. It's turned out gorgeous. I might just dry that off, and I'm just going to do a little more decorating on the front, so I'll be back. Alright, so I just wanted to finish off. If you have glitter glue, I've got a few. I've got a few of these Kindy Glitz. And I'm thinking I'm going to do some little spots on them, just to add that little bit of, you know how Christmas is nice and glittery. Now I'm just wondering if I should go green with green, blue with blue, and yellow with yellow, or do it differently. No, I might do that actually. I'm going to go with each colour. It's not what I would normally do, so I'm going to try to do things a little different. So I'm just going to add a few little spots, and when they're dry, they'll dry much flatter than they are now. Isn't that cute? And inside, you can see that shimmering of that on those Christmas balls. No, I'm very happy with that. Now these cards would just make beautiful Christmas cards to give to your friends and your family. Just for that little extra special touch or something. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, whatever it is. And if you did enjoy it, if you'd like to give me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. And if you'd like to subscribe, that would be wonderful. And I hope you have a wonderful crafty day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, I just forgot. I was going to show you some of the other ones that I've made before. Anyway, that was the last one. That was the first one I made. I'm just going to put this away over here while it dries, because these are some other ones, a little bit more, a lot more work. This is fabric that I've stitched onto it. I love my little owls, little Christmas owls. That's another one. This is all fabric that I've stitched onto it. And there's another one. These are mostly done with fabrics I've stamped on there. And there's a Christmas tree. And that's the last one. No, they just turn out gorgeous. I just love them. And oh, I didn't show you the envelope, but it's not very hard. So I'm just using my magazine pages that I've painted on. I stamp on there. I put a, I don't know what you call that, so you can write a piece of card, or it's not in cards, just copy paper that's been tea dyed. And then I'll glue it on there, and then we'll stitch around it. And the thing is just to make sure that it's big enough that your card's going to fit in there. Oh, this one's not. It's not big enough, that one. So anyway. Then you just stitch or glue, whatever you prefer, and then you can put a bit of double-sided tape on. I like to put a little bit of, I use some of my cut-offs, like, you know, the painted papers that I've cut before, and I'll glue that across just so it looks a bit nicer when you're looking in there. I'll glue that on, and I'll also stitch, when I stitch it, I'll stitch up and around. So that it's all nice, and like this one, that one's done. It's already got the sticky on there. And the cards fit in this one, because I made sure. Yeah, so just make sure when you make them that you make the envelope big enough for your card. Yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.